Welcome to In the Community with Tiffany K.
And we're back with another In the Community. I'm Tiffany K, and I have a guest returning who I just love talking to, and of course, love her accent. It's Karen with the Louisa Arts Center. She's the executive director. Karen, how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Tiffany. I'm really well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I love having you on, especially talking about one of my passions, which is anything having to do with the arts. Let's just start off with the basics. For anybody who doesn't know, give me the rundown. Where is the Louisa Arts Center located? What is it, and what are you bringing to the community?
Okay, so the actual Arts Center is located in the heart of Louisa County. It's actually in the town of Louisa. And I often say it's on the wrong side of the tracks. And I mean that in a very, very good way. We actually have a railway line going all the way through the town, and Main Street is on one side. We're just the other side of that in the town building. We're in a beautiful building, actually. It was built originally in 1907 as a school, a high school.
Oh, wow.
And then it went into disrepair in about 1987, I think it was. And then the townspeople brought it back to life for the town to have their office, and 105-seat theatre, a little art gallery, and beautiful classrooms for all ages to come and have art classes, arts and craft classes. So yeah, it's a beautiful building, as well as a great place for the community to come and learn and enjoy arts and culture and concerts, etc. I mean, we have a really lovely vision, which is what we basically say to people is envision a magical place where everyone has an opportunity to experience theatre, music, arts and education in a community setting where creativity comes alive. So that's our vision, and I love the fact that we talk about it being a magical place, because straight away, it kind of, as you mentioned earlier, it takes you back to your childhood, growing up, art and crafts and, music, it's all very magical. And we try to, when people come into our doors, we close the doors and just take you away from the trials and tribulations of everyday life, just for a little while anyway.
How did you get involved with this? How did you become the executive director?
Well, that's a very interesting story.
I'm excited.
Well, I came to live in America. I've always wanted to live in America, and I came to work in the British Embassy in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
And then, which was fabulous. I didn't really know about this area at all. I didn't know an awful lot about Virginia, and certainly not about Louisa. I met an Australian. Where else would a British lady and an Australian meet and fall in love, but in good old USA. So, he brought me down to Lake Anna. He had a house down there. And then I decided, well, if we're living here, I'd like to invest in the area. And I met a lovely lady and said, I'd like to maybe do some volunteer work. Do you know any areas that, you feel there is a need? And she basically said, well, my passion is the Arts Center. Would you come and help? So I agreed to help for a couple of hours a week. First job they asked me to do was to write a job description for the executive director. They wanted to ask someone to be the executive director. I did that. The person they asked turned the opportunity down. So they then said, well, would you like the job?
Oh, wow.
So my response was, well, yeah, can you just give me the job description back? I might need to change a few things. So I said I would just maybe do it for 2 or 3 months, see how I got on and how they got on. Because my background mostly is in business, in non-profit business. So, I'm there to kind of support it from a business perspective.
And now, as the performance season begins in July each year, I kind of want to know, how is it going now that you're almost halfway through this season?
It's going great. We actually decided last year to see whether we could have a run of tribute bands, just to see if that was the kind of concerts that our patrons would want. And believe me, it is. We've had 6 sellouts already so far this season. Out of our 10 big performances, big concerts, and that's ranged from we had a Beach Boys tribute band on the fairgrounds in Louisa, which is next door to the Arts Center, was a complete sellout. We also had the Led Zeppelin experience. And an Eagles tribute band, And recently we had a Beatles tribute band, so obviously that was close to my heart. I was singing all night long to that one.
I would hope so. Oh, I love that.
So that's really great, and we've still got some more coming. And in true style, I'm always trying to push the boundaries a little, just to see, really to try to reach as many patrons as I can. And I really have kind of pushed one boundary. I'm bringing a Michael Jackson tribute band to us in May.
Oh, wow!
And I was kind of wondering, I'm not sure, is that going to go down well? Are there many MJ fans around? Well, it just shows that there are. We're literally about 10 tickets from a sellout already, and it's only February. So yeah, there's a lot of diverse patrons out there, who have a lot of different musical kind of likes and dislikes, and we seem to be hitting the mark. But that's really only kind of one area that we've focused on. We've actually got our first Louisa's Got Talent event.
Wow, that's going to be fun.
That's fabulous. So exactly, and it's the first time we've had it. I'm hoping it's going to be an annual thing. Concessions there as well, so we have some refreshments and some beer and wine if people want to have a drink whilst they're enjoying some local talent. I have to tell you, we had 20 people audition, and 15 of the acts have got through. So there's going to be a lot of acts there on for our first time. I'm really, really happy with that, and quite surprised. So and the age ranges go from teens to people in their 80s as well. So I'm not going to give anything more away because it's going to be a lot of fun. So after that, I've been looking at just delving into kind of different cultural experiences. So we have coming up dueling pianos, and that's going to be amazing. So obviously 2 pianos on the stage, dueling against each other, and I think there's quite a lot of audience interaction with that. And for the first time ever, I'm actually bringing ballet to our stages in Louisa.
Oh, very
cool. And we're having... I love it. Obviously, it's going to be a small rendition of a ballet performance because we're a 200-seat theatre, so it's not a tiny theatre, but it's not a large theatre. So we have coming up. First of all, we have Roanoke Ballet. They're coming up with the Rainier Trio. So they're kind of 3 classical players, and then we have the Roanoke Ballet. So that's kind of a very kind of traditional adult type of theme of ballet. Mm-hmm. And also we are bringing the Charlottesville Ballet to us, and they're bringing a rendition of Snow White.
Oh, okay. So that's more for families as well. You could bring in the kids and they would be very entertained.
Absolutely. So I'm trying to obviously, find events that will suit, all different ranges. So yeah, it's an exciting season so far, and obviously, we're doing very well, which is really good.
I love how it's expanded so much more than when we talked the last time, bringing in ballet, of course, the tribute bands. There's something for everybody when you go to Louisa Arts Center, which is one of my favorite things about that place.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what was your focus last year? Was it more on the tribute bands and trying to find something for every, patron?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what we saw. We try different bands every year, and we thought, well, let's really go for the tribute bands and see how they go down. And they've, as I say, been very successful so far. But there's still a lot of great music out there that we can bring to the centre. So this year we're just starting to focus on the programming for the next season, and our season, as you said at the beginning, starts beginning of July. So beginning of July this year runs through to the end of June 2025. So we're just sitting down now to look at the focus, and we will be bringing some other tribute bands back.
Okay.
So, there's some on the cards, but I also want to look at, we have a great contingent of patrons who love bluegrass, who love country music. So I'm actually looking to find some really great bands that we can bring back next season that will actually cater for those communities as well.
I think you'll have a big win with that, especially, personally, me being on WFLS, but we know there's a huge country audience and community here, and I think that's going to be a great focus for you all to have.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we haven't got anything confirmed yet. We're just kind of in the process. But between you and me, not that there's anybody else listening to this. But
oh no, not at all.
we are looking at one band called Young Guns, and they're Young Guns of Country. So they will be bringing all sorts of country music to us, and they look like a fabulous band. So that's just a teaser. That's just one, Tiffany, that we're looking at.
Oh, that's exciting.
And also on the bluegrass as well, there's a wonderful female bluegrass artist called Rhonda Vincent, who is very famous in the bluegrass community. So she's someone we're also in discussion with. So we've got some exciting bands coming up as well as our tribute.
I love that. Oh, I'm so excited for that. And where can people find more information as they're trying to look out for this new schedule to come out?
We will be having it online probably, I would say, what are we now? We're February, so probably next month, March, we'll start to put all those new acts online on our website, and that's at louisaarts.org.
And I'm speaking with Karen, the executive director of Louisa Arts Center. Now, how can someone get involved with the Louisa Arts Center? If they're hearing about this, like, oh my gosh, I love the arts. This sounds like such a fun opportunity. Is there a way for them to get involved?
Absolutely. There's so many ways. Only yesterday we actually had students from the Louisa County Public Schools on their async day. They came in to help, and they were just, helping us, sort out our theatre, our backstage, and helping us prepare actually for an event we've got coming up this weekend. And of course, the kids from the Louisa County Public Schools enjoyed helping us prepare for it. And a couple of them also asked how they could also get involved. And these are the kind of things we put on that locals can actually, not just be involved, but also, take part in. Events like this, we have plays that we have, and we get local actors, and those that have never acted before can audition for them. We have a beautiful gallery called the Purcell Gallery, and we have 2 or 3 open shows a year. An open show meaning anyone who, is a budding artist can actually put their work into the show, and it gets curated. So there's a judge. The judge curates the work and decides which pieces go in, but that's another way of getting involved. And then, of course, we have volunteers. And to be honest, Tiffany, we can't run our center or any of our events without our fabulous group of volunteers.
Of course.
The kind of opportunities or the kind of work that we ask them to do, they can be ushers, ticket takers, they can sell our concessions, so our beverages at the little bar that we have. They can help us with our mobile arts bus when we go out into the community. So there are several ways of getting involved with the centre, either participating in the events and the activities, coming along to, painting classes. We have some sip and paints, which are a lot of fun, or, being a volunteer and actually helping us when we're actually running an event.
Wow, there's a lot of different ways that people can get involved. And I love that you also touched on local opportunities for actors and artists, because I think that's a big way to get the community involved as well, especially when there's trying to find something to do and trying to get involved. And it's really hard to get involved in the art industry.
Yeah, exactly. I have to say that post-COVID, I know we spoke about this, once we just come out of COVID.
Yes.
And I was really, happy that we survived and we've thrived since then, and we've gone in all different directions to entertain, the public and the community. The one area that we did struggle with, and it's happened around the country, was actually in the theatre. And the theatre remained dark for quite some time. I mean, many months after COVID, but on a, kind of just generally after COVID. And I know I was obviously in touch with other theatres, and some of them went under. They haven't survived. So it's been a struggle. But last summer, we actually recruited a theatre manager.
Oh, wow.
This wonderful lady. she actually has helped us out and has actually performed in our plays. She has directed plays before at the Arts Center, so she knows the Arts Center. She's a local lady, and she is now our theatre manager, and she's, bringing life back into the theatre, which is fabulous. So, not only is she looking at acting clubs for adults and also for children, she's recruited another director, and we have a play where we've just auditioned. We just managed to get a cast for, and that's called the Red Velvet Cake Wars.
Ooh.
So that's happening the end of April, beginning of May, and it's going to be an adult comedy. So that's going to be fabulous. And once again, local actors are going to be involved. So there's a lot of new things that our lovely theatre manager is going to bring to our theatre, and I'm really excited about that because there's so much we can do, in the theatre with acting, dancing, all sorts of things that we can get locals involved with.
Oh, that's so exciting because I'm also an actress and I like to dance and stuff. So to be able to hear those local opportunities and then hear about that play coming up sounds delicious. I just had to throw it out there.
I think it's a southern one. You can imagine a cake war between southern belles. I think it's that kind of thing, which is really interesting to me because I love the history of this country.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be such a great show. Now, for anyone who would like to know, you said that one's coming up in what, April, May-ish?
Yeah, so it's the last weekend in April and the first weekend in May. So we're doing the Friday evening, Saturday evening, and Sunday matinee for those 2 weekends. And those tickets are available online. Just go to louisaarts.org, and there's just a ticket button. Press that, and you'll find tickets. And we do still have tickets available. They are selling, which is great, and we're just so we do still have tickets because we have 6 shows. We're hoping we can cater for everybody, and we won't sell out too quickly.
Well, I'm speaking with Karen, the executive director with Louisa Arts Center. Now, I want to kind of switch our focus a little bit and talk about the mobile arts bus. Now, we talked about this last time, but can you give an overview again one more time and tell me how has the mobile arts bus activities grown since we last spoke?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's kind of that's very, very dear to my heart is my little arts bus, and you know the history, and I'm sure some of your listeners will have heard me before say that during COVID I wanted to try and find a way to reach out to our patrons that weren't able to come into the centre, particularly when it was closed down, and was very lucky to have the local school, the very, very generous and kind chief superintendent who'd gifted us an old school bus. It was 20 years old, needed a lot of TLC, but we really kind of renovated that and the wrapped it all in wonderful bright colours. So when you see that bus coming down the road, it's the Louisa Arts mobile bus. So I'm very proud of it. I have a wonderful team of volunteers that go out on the bus. The main kind of focus for using the bus was to go out to underserved communities, particularly during the summer, to the children who are in some of these lower income areas, won't necessarily have the transport or the resources to come into the centre for some of the children's events. So we wanted to take out our arts and craft activities to them. And we did that with the school nutrition services who wanted to make sure that everybody had, meals during the day. And they took out free meals because we were able to help them with what they call the enhancement program. So because we were there to enhance what was the delivery of this kind of activity, they were able to give free meals. So that was the focus. We still do that every year. I'm really proud of that. Every year the numbers of children grow. And to be honest, Tiffany, it's almost a little bit like the Pied Piper. The bus comes in and you see the children running towards the bus, and it's such an amazing sight. It really is. So
I love
that's
that.
Still going to happen. Yeah, it is. It's fabulous. But as you say, we've expanded into other areas. We do visit other local groups who, once again, don't always have the necessary means to come into the center. Mm-hmm. So we go and visit the elderly when they meet up. We've visited some others who other groups who, have other disabilities that aren't able to then come and, necessarily be mobile themselves. And we go to the food banks. So when, all the families are coming to the food banks, the children can be entertained whilst the families are getting their goods. We also go to, and I'd like to do it again this year, to the Autism Festival.
Oh,
so
wow.
We're trying to really support a lot of groups of people and just bring a little bit of light, kind of entertainment and joy to them when they're around at different events.
And is that also run by volunteers as well?
It is. I actually now do have one of my managers who is managing the whole, program, and she does go out with the volunteers. So, yes, we have a lot of volunteers that then support us each time.
I think that's such a cool idea. As we talked about before when you brought it up the last time, it's such a great way to serve the community, bring arts to the community, and then also help on other different ventures that people need to go through. Like you said, giving children food during the summertime, during lunchtime, being able to help with that, and going to different areas and centers, I think is just such an important part of the mission of Louisa Arts Center.
It is, absolutely. I mean, our mission is to brighten the lives of the people that we serve in our community, and that's of all ages. So, however we can support, and if we can also, as you say, work in collaboration with other groups that bring other essential, services and to our community, then that's even better. I do love collaborating with other, fantastic groups that we have in our community that do support our patrons.
And if there is someone who's listening right now who says, hey, I have a great opportunity to collaborate with you, are you willing to have them just reach out to you on your website?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. We have a little section that says contact us, as everybody does. And absolutely. I love a challenge as well. I love something new and different that people say, well, we've never done this before, or it can't be done. Oh no, hand me that challenge. If I think it's going to be new and exciting, then, it makes it interesting for me as well.
I love that. I'm talking with Karen with the Louisa Arts Center. Now, Karen, what are the next shows and events that you've got coming up over the next few weeks?
On the 23rd, we have the Barter Players. Now, this is a group of theatre actors that have come quite regularly to the centre. But every year, our local Louisa Rotary Club sponsor the Barter Players, and they bring a play to not only the high school in the daytime, but also to the Arts Centre in the evening. And this one is the Velveteen Rabbit, which some people have heard of, actually. I haven't, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. But that's a lovely family show. So that's on the 23rd of February at 7:30. Once again, you can buy tickets online, or you can buy tickets at the door when you come in. So that's fabulous. And we have actually had a series of classic movies throughout the winter time. And we have Gone with the Wind on Sunday, the 25th of February. A lot of tickets sold for that already, which is great. But it was in our series with Casablanca and Breakfast at Tiffany's. So we have some classic movies going on at the Arts Centre, as well as several art classes. Too many to mention, so look online and you'll see all the different art classes we've got. And then we have a local guy, R&B guy called Steve Bassett, coming on March the 9th. That's a Saturday, 7:30 performance again. There's a few great shows coming up, and we've got tickets to most of those. But as I say, to ensure you get a seat, best to buy those online. And
that website was once again
louisaarts.org. Or if you want to call our box office is open Tuesday to Friday between 11 and 2, and the number for that is 540-967-5200.
Well, Karen, it sounds like there's a lot of exciting things coming up this year for Louisa Arts Center. I'm very excited to see that schedule when it comes out, to hear about how the success is going. And I appreciate you so much for speaking with me today.
No, it's always a pleasure, Tiffany. Thank you. And thank you to your listeners as well for their support. And if anyone wants to contact me, if anyone has any ideas of events, activities, concerts, shows, anything that they would like to see at the Louisa Arts Center, please let us know. We're there to serve, and we're always open to new ideas.
Well, thank you so much, Karen, with the Louisa Arts Center. She's the executive director. Make sure to check out their website for anything coming up, and I hope you have a great day.
And you too. Thank you so much.
And that'll do it for In the Community this week. If you are a nonprofit and need to bring attention to your cause or organization, please reach out through this station's website, and we will see you next week.